I'm Trish, and you're at Trish's Creative Treasures. So how's everyone doing today? It's been a couple days since I've been on here. I've been crafting away. Haven't been sleeping much because I'm in that kind of phase, I guess, of my life of not being able to sleep. I'm doing about 2-3 hours a night. I didn't fall asleep till sometime after 7 o'clock this morning, and I woke up about close to 11:30ish, somewhere in there, and I'm wide awake. Hold on, I gotta use my brush, and I have such dry skin that I gotta use a brush to itch my back, because when you're home alone and you got no one to itch your back, you got no one to itch your back. You gotta scratch it, right? Right. Alright, I'm a little weird, I know. I've always been weird, and I don't think that's ever gonna change. I just realized we're kind of on a tilt here. I don't know if I can work that with my... It's a little better, but not the greatest. Okay, sorry. Still not over at my craft table, still in bed. This is ridiculous. Like, I can get up and walk to the bathroom, but it takes all I can. My body is a mess with fibromyalgia with this crazy freaking weather. Up, down, up, down, up, down. But we're not here to discuss my back and my pain level. We're here to do a yarn talk. So, like I said, I've been just crocheting a lot this week. I want to make it a point that for every week out of this month, I want to do something kind of geared towards Valentine's Day to share with you guys. So, this right here, I don't know if you remember that gray basket I started a while back and that I never finished. Well, I finished it. It didn't come out the way that I planned it in my head. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It will look fine once I fill it with stuff, but I had to like line it and put some of that plastic canvas stuff to help make it stand a little bit more, because I was a stupid one, and like you can tell I don't even think sometimes. I do things because I'm tired. I went from halfway up the sides, when I was building the sides, I did like 7 rows of single crochet, and then I went up to 13 rows of half double crochet. Switch there for, square, and then we went out like this, and then this is all loose at the top and floppy. So I've had to finagle it to make it work. I've had to just sew in spots just to clip it. If you only know how I've had to rig this thing to make it workable. But, it's done now. Now I know for next time that you can't cheat your way out. You got to stick with them single crochets. So, and I should have known that. I do know that, but I just got lazy. So I was just like, I am going to switch to half double. So here is my final basket. The inside of it's pink. Like I said, I don't know. I did this the other night, and I must have counted stitches wrong, because I have some areas that are way overlapping and too big, and but once I fill it with stuff, you will never know that the inside I sewed bad. It was not easy sewing in a square where you can't, when you can bend it somewhat, but yeah, it was very hard to sew in. So next time I know for sure that if I'm going to do a basket like this, stick with single crochet. 2, if you're going to line it with plastic canvas, do that before you put the plastic canvas and sew the plastic canvas onto your basket. Because then trying to sew the inner pieces onto the plastic canvas that's already sewn onto the basket was not fun. But anyways, yes, I thought that was cute. The XOXO in the little heart. Well, decent size heart. That's a granny heart there. So, I know it's not perfect, but what you think? I learned my lesson. Oh yeah, it's got pockets on the sides. I ran out of the silvery colored yarn after a while. Okay, here's the other thing I made. This only took me like 2 days to do. This is my... Let me just fix it up here. This is a pattern, yeah, from Bag O' Day. It is her wide neck cowl. So I made this because there's days where it's so cold in my house that my neck's cold. If my neck gets cold, forget it. I'm cold all over. But this I used with a Ferris wheel in the color Wild Violets. Not that I've gotten anywhere, but I started one set of, I'm going to do matching fingerless gloves to go with this. So I should have them hopefully done for you next week. Next thing I made was this bag. This was what Josie wanted me to make for her, and I realized it was way too big, so I have 2 more skeins of this that I can make her a small bag, just big enough to fit her color book and crayons in it. So I made it a long strap so you can wear it across your body. I didn't put the button on it yet, okay? But, and it goes, I just did single crochet or half double, I can't remember which. And this is just the cluster stitch. So this is Hobby Lobby paints or prints. I don't remember what it was called. I know I did tell you in an earlier video this week what color this was. Well, that would have been from last Saturday. I told you because Josie was here and we couldn't do a video Friday night because she wasn't in the mood. So Saturday she was in the mood. So yes, this is my bag that I'm going to use myself once I get a button on there. And my last finished item for this week, and I made this in a matter of 2 nights of just sitting here watching TV, nothing crazy. So I've had this orange boucle yarn that I ordered years ago from DBNY. I actually looked that up last night, DBNY, because I love novelty yarn. I love to work with novelty yarn, add it to stuff, you know, just jazz up something. And I had bought a whole bunch of novelty yarn back in, I think it was 2018, 19, something like that. So, and I did use a lot of it, and well, unfortunately some of it I had to throw away because of the mice. But I have a bunch of this orange boucle yarn. Boucle, or however you say it. I say boucle, whatever. I know it's probably French or whatever, but what I also used with it is, if you don't remember when I did the opening of, come on Carlos, you coming? What I got for Christmas, and it was in that bag that my dad and my sister got me. It was like, it's a sugar wheel, but it was bright orange and yellow, red, and purple. Beautiful. So I just added that in with it because I figured that would go with the orange really well. So it does. It looks good. I'm happy with it. Oh, sorry. Carlos is snuggling right in there and his butt's moving the camera. Yes. So yeah, those are my finished items for the week. I don't think that was too bad, do you? I got some littler stuff done. I want to try to give myself a break from big things and work on some little things. Just so it's not so, like, intense. Just, I mean, 2 months of a big blanket was just, yeah. As much as I enjoyed making them, it does burn you out after a while. So, that's just why I'm glad for our Valentine's this month. We are doing shawls. Which I haven't picked up and touched that shawl since the day that I showed you guys about it. I have my big this big basket that I have full of stuff that I've been working on and full of yarn to work on something with. So that stays with me at all times, and I'm not starting anything new till I have finished everything that I have started in this basket. Yes, I know I made this gray basket. I started a while ago, so that is a whip done. So these other 2 items that I had, well, 3. The other 3 things that I made this week. Alright, we're new items. I can't hold myself to not make a new item. I can say that as much as I want, but I'll come up with this bright idea of, ooh, or I'll see something like, ah, you just got to do it. You know, you can't help yourself. Like, I know I can't. I don't know about everybody else, but I know I can't help myself from doing some things that just pop in my head. Just keeps the creative juices flowing. But no, this was a brand new book. Now, remember I told you guys that I had big problem with mice last year. So they chewed the front of my book. I didn't even get to use this book yet. This is just a bookmarker tag I have in here. But on the plus side, they did not get into the pages to chew up. So I am going to start working from this book. It's my one thing is I want to be able to make amigurumi. But this you can make cloud pillows, rainbow pillows, all sorts of stuff. And the unicorns, there's blankets, there's jacket. Hi, buddy.
I got 2 new tech decks.
Okay, I'm doing a video real quick.
Here you go.
So, yeah, I'm going to try to start working from this book so I can start to do some amigurumi. Learn better to read patterns. So it's like reading patterns and amigurumi are two things that both I want to be able to do. Come here, Saphira. No? You're not going to come up? Guess she's not going to come up either. They get so far and they're like, don't want to be on video. Sorry. Trying to fix this because they moved it a little bit. Now it's leaning. But that is what I've been doing. That's what I've been up to. I haven't been up to anything major. I've been watching a lot of movies this week and watching everybody's podcasts. Just chilling. I'm going to try to get downstairs today because Jim bought a couple of these big, huge pork loins that they had at the store for like half price. So he bought me a couple of them that I can cut up and can them. So that is the goal for the day. But he's like, well, see, if you're not feeling up to it, you're not doing anything. Because I have a pinched nerve on my left hand side, but it's at the bottom of my butt cheek on on my side, bottom butt cheek on my left, you know. And it's not sciatic nerve. This is something way different. And the way that my chiropractor described it to me, it's like a tube. Even though like your sciatic nerve, I know goes in like a tube, but this one is tube. But this one, it can get pinched because of my hip and my pelvic area popping in and out, and it's just never got the nerve has never got out from between the bones. It's like when I'm sitting here, sometimes I can just feel like this. It's the muscle, it just moves back and forth and you can feel it, or it spasms and then it hurts so bad, or I'll go to stand and all of a sudden I'm about ready to fall because it pinches so hard you can't put any weight on your foot. So yeah, I'm not liking this being stuck. I want to get up and do things. I want to clean out there because I so badly want to be able to set up my yarn room, my craft studio, my place to go and film so I don't have to film here. Because, see, to get over to where my table is, I've got to walk, you know, through like an arrow, and I got to walk sideways. So with my hips the way they are, I really cannot step sideways. So, but if I go out here, I can get to where I'm going to put the table and my chair and everything, and it will be so much more easier. I'll have space to move. It's going to take a while, I guess. I was hoping that, you know, by the end of February, I'd be in that room, but heck, Draken hasn't even been. I think he went up there one day and cleaned a little bit because Tiana left that room atrocious upstairs, and it is, I mean, she left so much stuff, it's everywhere. I know he's gone up and picked up trash and stuff, and just trying to go through what all she left here, because she said what's here she don't want. It's like, seriously? So, I mean, besides her, like, she has her TV and her little mini fridge that she got upstairs. That it's like her father, who's incarcerated and has been for a while and has spent the majority of his adult life since we split up in prison. So prisoners, I guess, got their stimulus checks. Now, they didn't get them in jail. They had to go to somebody who you could designate to take care of your money or whatever. So my daughter Kira, who's my middle daughter of the 3 girls, she's the middle daughter. She's always been the one that's daddy, 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 daddy. But anyways, she is his power of attorney. That's what it's called for his money. So she set up a bank account for him and stuff. So, she sends him money when he needs it or buys him something that he needs that he can have up there. But he also told Kira to, because I guess Tiana wanted a new TV for upstairs and she wanted her own little mini fridge. So he told Kira to buy her buy her a mini fridge and told her to buy her a TV. He gave her like a limit on how much she could spend. So Tiana moved out and she's living with her boyfriend. Yeah, we won't go there. But anyways, she had no room because where he's living is in it's almost like a frat house, but it's not a frat house. It's just a big house where you pay so much for a room. And then y'all share the kitchen and, bathrooms and all that. So, yeah, there wasn't enough room to put all her stuff in that room that they are in. So, their dad is having a hissy fit because that TV's been left here, and God forbid me or Drake can touch it or we use it, but no, it's all right. He didn't pay me a dime for any of my 3 girls for child support. He wasn't there. I did it all on my own. I worked the double shifts. So it's like, it kind of ticks me off that you're going to be like, you're telling me that it's something left in my house. I don't care if you bought it. So what I'll do is I'll have Drake take his own TV upstairs when he finally goes in that room. And I'll bring that TV downstairs and I'll plug it in. I'll use it in my craft room. So that way if I'm sitting in there, I can still have TV on without having to have my bedroom and, or streaming through the doorway trying to see it. And I might even pull down her little mini fridge and keep that up here so that way if I want a cold drink, I can have a cold drink, or I can put my protein drinks right in there. Oh, speaking of which, guys, it dawned on me like 2 days ago, I did the count, that it is only 10 days away that I have to start my 2-week pre-surgery liquid diet. Like, you have to have like only liquids. Yeah, that's gonna be hard. And it's like, I'm excited to get this surgery done, but at the same time, I'm really nervous. I mean, it's the change. I'm not scared about the surgery or whatever. That part, I know it's going to hurt like crazy afterwards. They say it's a very intense pain. I know that that's going to be that way. And I'm okay with that. It's the lifestyle change. It's like, it's knowing that the person, your best friend, is gonna go, and you're never ever gonna be able to have that best friend ever again. And that's how it is, like, with food. I mean, I think that's for like a lot of us, like the bigger people anyways. And mine started in childhood, the eating the way that we did. We were big eaters. We were all heavy people. We went to smorgasbords all the time, always eating bad food, junk food, and I was never one for physical fitness activity stuff. I was always like the crafty one. Um, I was a pianist all my life. I played the piano, or, I was never one to be outside running and this and that. I always hated that. My mom used to say that even as a kid, like a little kid, that most little kids are like, and you can't get them. Nope. She said I was never interested in, playing tag or, playing ball with your friend. Nope. Now, I loved riding bikes and I loved roller skating and stuff like that, but I did not like running. I did not like long walks, which I wish, I love taking long walks now. I miss Drake and keeps like, Mommy, when you get your surgery in your hips, and then you get your hip surgeries done and you're all better, can we start doing our hikes? It's called the Reservoir here, but there's a place that we used to go hiking. There's trails, and we would hike up the mountain a little bit till they had like, almost like a rest area type place, but it's part of the Appalachia everybody says it different. Some people say Appalachia, some people Appalachia. We call it the Appalachian Trail. Appalachian. I have myself confused. I can't even say it right now. So, anyways, they have an area up there where it's open in the front, but it's like a enclosed kind of area that you could sleep there. I mean, at least you had shelter around you. And there's fire, there's big fire pits around, and you can tell there's like different campsites in that same area, and there's picnic tables and stuff. So we would just take backpacks, and we would take plenty of water. Like, we would just have one backpack, which Drake and's dad used to carry that one, because me, Drake, and his dad, we used to go on these walks all the time. We would pack a lunch. I'd go up there. We'd put a nice tablecloth on, because, being in the woods and stuff, the table was kind of crusty. And, we would just have a really nice lunch. We'd sit there, Drake would have fun playing and jumping up and down on this platform area that, they could sleep in. And then we would walk back, and when you get down to the bottom of the mountain, there is like a creek there. So, and the water really only went up, if anything, up to my knees in certain spots, but mainly it was like my ankles. But we would always slop around in the water. Me and Drake and Bobby would sit there and watch us, because he didn't want to get his shoes wet or anything. But let me tell you what, after hiking up that mountain, for as hot as it is, me and Drake never cared. The water was so nice. It felt good. It was refreshing after walking. So yes, that is a goal of mine, is to be able to go and hike with my son on the mountain again. Because that's a memory that he remembers, and he remembers having fun. And they have these awesome, they're like rocks, but they're like green or blue. It almost looks like stained glass, but it's not. It's a little rocks. So we would collect them. I mean, sometimes you get them in big chunks, sometimes little pieces. Draken always takes like a bucket thing with him and collects rocks. He likes to collect rocks. He finds some beauty in different rocks, and some rocks are like, I like to crystals and gemstones, but never got into just rocks. So I remember he at one time had a huge container of these blue and green rocks. I don't know what he ever did with them. We don't have them anymore, but so I'm anxious for this surgery. So just so you guys know, starting March 2nd is my surgery. So hopefully I will be able to get on little clips here or there just to give you guys an update and say hello. But the plan for my surgery is, we're going to have the surgery. Obviously, you got to go through what I got to go through. They say it takes about 4 to 6 hours in recovery, because I have to go through different drinking phases for so many. Like, your first hour that you wake up, and when you're done feeling groggy or whatever, they give you like those little medicine cup things that you get medicine to take, like come on the top of your medication bottles, you get one of those little ones, and they fill it up. You have an hour, every 10 minutes you got to take a sip, and you have an hour to get that first cup down, to see if you can hold that down. And then after that, then you're going to get 2. So you're going to have an hour to get 2 down. And I think it goes up to doing that 4 or 5 times. But you have to be able to get this water sipped slowly down, and be able to keep it down and not throw up. I guess they give you Zofran, which is for the nausea. But my worriment is, I know once they get you upstairs in a room, they want you up and walking, because they fill you up with air, and it becomes very painful. I've had it before. It feels like you're having a gallbladder attack, and I've had those. I had my gallbladder removed. But the only way to really move that air around is you gotta toot it out of your bum. And the way to be able to do that is you gotta walk. And they said the walking helps move that gas around and puts it through your body, that you can let it out. So, because I can't walk, hopefully I'll be able to with a walker, but because my legs are so bad, I have such a hard time, and Jim's like, well, you're just gonna have to do it so you can come home. And I'm like, what, easier said than done, considering my legs. My brain tells my legs to move half the time, and my legs don't move. My legs just don't do what my brain tells them to do, and the pain is real. And, I don't know, because I'm also going to have excruciating pain in my abdomen because, my stomach will be cut down to a small pouch and my intestines have been cut and rerouted and blah, 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 blah. Everything's going to hurt inside. So, pretty much so, if I can't get up and do the moving, I'm going to have to go stay at a rehab facility for like 2-3 weeks, where I will have physical therapy there to help me move and get around. I'm going to have to be on blood thinners for, I think they said like 3 months. They want me to stay on the blood thinners for like 3 months just to be on the safe side after the surgery. And hopefully once, the weight really starts coming off, then I'll be able to get up. It'll be easier for me to walk. I'm really hoping it's going to be a lot easier for me to walk. I really am hoping this year that I can get around and move and do some gardening like I love to do, that I haven't been able to do the way that I like to do it for the past 2 years. This past year, I was able to sit and plant everything because we did grow bags. So I'd put the dirt in and plant it, and then they put it, I had this, I had distinct areas where each different kind of grow bags went. But I wasn't able to maintain them. I wasn't able to bend over and pick anything or pull the hose out and water the plants, and I wasn't able to do anything but plant it. So my tomatoes took a big poop because when Jim and Raven were on their vacation over the summer, nobody would water my plants for me. So, and it was so hot that 2 weeks that they were gone, that pretty much so all 50 some tomato plants that I had, for the majority of them, burnt up. Bunch of my peppers burnt up. There's a lot of plants I lost in 2 weeks because nobody could water my plants for me. But, yeah. So I'm hoping that there's a lot of changes just from this first surgery. And then once I lose enough weight, I can go to my orthopedic doctor. And I don't know if they put you to sleep for this or not. And it does not sound pleasant, but I know insurance is going to make me do this before they pay for surgery. Is you get this long needle like this, and they go in through your groin with an ultrasound going so they can get into the joint of my hips, and they'll put like this, my dad calls it the chicken goo. It's something it's a steroid, but it has something in with, like, they cook up this chicken feet and stuff. It becomes like this gelatinous stuff. And for some reason, there's something in there that actually is bonding. Helps. I don't know. It just makes me feel like I have a cushion back in my hip, that I'm not just rubbing bone on bone, that it won't hurt as bad to walk until I lose enough weight that I can get the hip replacements. Which I know my dad's like, that's not easy to get through. And I'm like, well, I know, but it's got to be done, It's not easy living that you can't walk because your hips are so disintegrated. So, it is what it is. But I guess I have now rambled on long enough about me and my wonderful stuff that I gotta go through. But it's all positive. It's all these positive changes are gonna happen, and I'm gonna be able to get my life back, be able to do things the way that I like to do things instead of needing help, because I've always been a very independent person, and now that I have to be dependent and I have to wait for someone else to get me what I need or what I want, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and it never happens. And then I don't understand why I get frustrated. Because I asked you 5 hours ago to get me a cup of coffee. Because I can't go downstairs and do it myself. So, because I can't get coffee and then walk and go, I have to use a walker in the house. And when we leave, when we're not in the house, I'm in a wheelchair pretty much, So, yeah. So, yes, keep me in your thoughts, guys. Keep me in your prayers that I'm not too nervous and I don't get too anxious, and that surgery goes well and I can adapt to the pain. And the goal is to be able to come home, because, they'll keep me in the hospital for a couple days. But the goal is to be able to force myself up to not be able to be able to deal with the pain. Because I'm hoping that I know that they're going to give me painkillers in the hospital. So I'm hoping that that helps with my hips enough that I can get up and just deal with the abdominal pain and do the walking that I have to do. It may take me slow, because I guess every hour you got to do a walk around the whole bariatrics ward. So just fingers crossed, guys, that I can get through this and I can do this, that I don't have to go to a rehab facility. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a big deal if it weren't for Draken. It's just Draken and I here. Yes, I have Jim next door, with Raven and her boyfriend Brandon and stuff, but I know he'll be okay, because, like, after school, Jim and Raven and Brandon will all be home. He won't be here. He'll be over at Jim's house. They'll just be here to come take care of the animals, or, whatever, because I have the 5 cats and the dog. So someone has to take care of my animals for me. Someone has to take the dog out, clean the litter boxes, make sure all the animals are fed and they have plenty of water. But I'm worried about in the mornings, like, for Draken to be alone, because Jim starts work at 5:30 in the morning. Raven's bus comes an hour before Draken's, because it's the same buses. They just, this middle school and elementary school, middle school and elementary, yeah, are an hour. They start and get out of school an hour after high school. Now, high school and middle school are on the same time. It's just elementary is shorter. Yeah, that's how it is. So, yeah, they do one pickup and then they come back and do the second pickup for the other schools. My what I'm trying to say, though, is Draken will be alone in the mornings, and I can't have that. He's only 11 years old. I need to make sure that someone makes sure he's up at 7 o'clock, that he's eaten, that he's put on clean clothes, because he will wake up and just he will wear the same clothes day after day after day, and it's like, dude, man, those things are going to walk on their own. Throw them in the wash, so you got to make sure he changes his clothes, to make sure his teeth are brushed, make sure he, does everything he needs to do, takes the dog out, in the morning, and to make sure he's getting on the bus and not missing it, so that's my struggle, is finding someone to be with Draken in the mornings. I asked his dad if he would come, maybe just, if I have to go into the facility, if he would just stay here, especially because, his dad works like a second shift, so if he would come here and sleep here with Draken, I know his dad lives 45 minutes away from here, but still, I need help with, this, but because his girl, he wants to be home with his girlfriend and blah, 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 blah. He said that he can't do that. It's too long. So, something will work out. We'll figure something out eventually. It's just getting somebody to be there for my son. My son is my worriment, my priority through it all, just to make sure he's okay. And to make sure he can come see me, because he's gonna have a fit, because he's never away from me. And he gets anxiety when he's not, like when he goes to his dad's or whatever, like, that's okay. He knows I'm okay. He calls me, he FaceTimes me, Mommy, you doing okay? Blah, 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 blah. He worries about me, and I know, like, he's already kind of stressing about me getting surgery, because it scares him, which I guess any child does. It is what it is. Hi, baby. Not to change subjects, but here's Saphira, and Saphira is pregnant. Yeah, she's gonna have babies. Aren't ya? My baby's gonna have babies. So, I would say she's about 3.5 weeks pregnant. Cat's gestational time is 65 days, so we're kind of keeping a track on that, so we know around, what time is to expect it for her. So, Athena's not pregnant, thankfully, but she is. And the sad thing, though, is, okay, I got my cats, and I lost, right after I got the cats is when I lost my unemployment, so I wasn't able to get Carlos fixed. You know, because he needs to be fixed. He's their brother. So, we're going to have babies that are hopefully not mutated, or hopefully that will be just fine because, you know, they're keeping it in the family. I'm just trying to find out the right slogan. I can say it's not offensive to anybody because we all have those certain words or sayings that you use about like that kind of stuff. Yeah. We'll just drop that subject. Alright, guys. It is, holy cow, it's 35 minutes. I will let you go because I have been rambling and rambling for probably a good 20 minutes now. So, I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to say welcome to my new subscribers. If you know, I've gotten some new subscribers lately. Thank you, Linda, for giving me a shout out. I appreciate that so much. Linda Simpson Sansom. I can't remember what her channel is. She's a lovely lady. I don't know, are you from England, or because you got that accent? I'm not sure. But anyways, I want to thank you for those that have been with me already and keep coming back for more. I appreciate that so much. You don't know how much that means to me. And I'm sorry I'm in my pajamas today, but just being lazy. But if you can, if you haven't done yet so, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And hit the like button. And what should I make next? What would you like me to see? What would you like to see me make? You know, little things. I don't want to do any big things. Something little. Something for Valentine's. Why don't you guys give me your suggestions of what you think I should do for Valentine's Day stuff? I have a couple ideas up in my head, but tell me what you might like to see. And then we can go from there. Alright. Let me know in the comments below. Love you guys. Bye.